Dylan Townsend, Dylan McGordy hanging with you here on The Rally. And Dylan, one of the teams that made a big move at the deadline, that would be the New York Yankees acquiring Sonny Gray in a major deal this afternoon. But when you look at the rotation in the Bronx, we want to know, is Gray now the ace of this staff? Luis Severino was on the mound tonight. He went 5 innings, struck out 8 against the Tigers. So in your opinion, who is the ace? Is it Severino or is it Gray?
I think it's Severino. As good as Gray's been, this is not a guy that we've looked at as a guy with World Series experience, a guy that comes in with all this pedigree. For the better part of 4 years in and out of injury, Sonny Gray has been a very effective pitcher. But I think the way you handle it as an organization, when you've had a guy as consistent as Severino this year, who's really stepped up, returned to that form we saw from his rookie year, not last year, I think it behooves you as a team, whether you feel that way or not, to let Severino know you're still our number one, and then let Sonny Gray know, hey, we need some help at the top end of our rotation. I don't think you have to define necessarily, hey, we picked you up to be our number 2 behind Luis Severino. You're not as good as Luis Severino, but we're happy you're here. You don't get specific like that. Not having never been around a big league clubhouse, but watching baseball my whole life, I think you look at this kind of thing in a deadline acquisition. And I think Sonny Gray, it's on him as well to come in kind of humbly and say, however I can help this team. If I'm the 3, if I'm the 4, if I'm the 1B to Severino's 1A, however it is. But you don't make it seem like, oh, great, now we got the ace we've always been waiting for. How does that make Severino feel, who's been consistent all year long? I don't think it's so defined as picking up an ace, but they did pick up a top-flight guy who's a front end of the rotation guy. Is he the best pitcher, the most proven pitcher on this staff right now because CC is at the back end of his career and the prime is in the rearview mirror? With Tanaka being very inconsistent.
Up and down for sure.
Better lately, but way down earlier. And still a 5+ ERA. He is probably the best pitcher on the staff right now in the crux of his prime. But I think the way the Yankees have to handle this is saying you're now our number 2. I think that bolsters the confidence of Severino while not affecting the confidence too much of Sonny Gray and say, wow, now I'm the number 2. I think he's coming into a prime situation from a bad team to a first-place team in the American League East, and he knows what he's here for. He's a hired gun, and not just for this year, but for the next couple years, and that's why Brian Cashman was happy to make this deal as opposed to maybe wooing Yu Darvish away from the Rangers.
Yes, certainly. If you're Gray, you just really want to fit in. You mentioned it, worst in the AL West to the best in the AL East. That's quite a jump.
It's a jump anyway. Then to say you're the ace, it's a real big jump.
Much.
It's a little too much pressure. Just call him the number 2, and we're good to go.